Hi everyone, it's me, 𝑻𝒉𝒆. Today is Tuesday, September 10th, 2024. This video is dedicated to my beloved, and the topic of this video is going to be about how the purpose of love is spiritual growth. So as you know, I'm currently reading this book, The Road Less Traveled, A New Psychology of Love, Traditional Values, and Spiritual Growth, by the psychiatrist Peck, MD. And as I was reading this book this morning, I started the section on love, which is section 2 in this book. And on the first page of this section, the author comes up with his own definition of what love is, and I wanted to share that with you. Here it goes. I define love thus: the will to extend one's self for the purpose of nurturing one's own or another's spiritual growth. And then a couple pages later, he says something else about love, and I want to share that with you as well. When we love someone, our love becomes demonstrable or real only through our exertion, through the fact that for that someone or for ourselves, we take an extra step or walk an extra mile. Love is not effortless. To the contrary, love is effortful. Now, when a lot of us think about love, particularly when we are young, such as when we're teenagers and don't really have much experience in love yet, we think of what we see perhaps in media, such as in films or in music, such as the lyrics to various songs, even in art or even on social media, such as in the posts from different influencers or celebrities. But the love that is conveyed in these various forms of media is usually not really love. It's more like a superficial idea or just a facade of what love is. But in reality, it's not love. And a lot of the times, these portrayals are simply portraying romance or the act of falling in love, or in other words, the honeymoon phase of love. But usually and typically, over time, as two people are in a relationship, whether it's a romantic relationship or a friendship or even a relationship between a mother and a child, there will come a point where the two people will disagree on something, because no two people are ever alike, and everyone has their differences. And at these moments, the two people, both of the people, are challenged to see things in a different viewpoint, from a different viewpoint, meaning the viewpoint of the other person. And they're challenged to put aside their own interests and their own beliefs for seeing things from the other person's perspective, and for learning more about how the other person thinks and how the other person feels. And this is just one of the ways in which love challenges us to grow spiritually and to put our ego aside. And I know that a lot of people are afraid of falling in love or afraid of making themselves vulnerable to another person because they're afraid of this spiritual growth that occurs. But I think that one of the most beautiful things about life itself is being able to extend ourselves to another person so that we can grow and that person can grow spiritually and on the inside. And ultimately, that again is the purpose of love. It is an act of education, educating both people and making them better. And when two people are in a relationship, neither of them is going to come out the same as he or she was before the relationship. And as Dr. Peck wrote in his book, in what I had read from his book, love is effortful, it's not effortless. And we learned that early on through the earliest relationships that we experience. For example, just by observing our mother or our father or whoever raises us. Imagine a mother who just had a child and she's having to give up her own interests and her own time for herself and the things that she wants to do in order to raise the child. And although it's a lot of giving up that she has to do, she does it because she loves the child. And in that way, it's again a kind of a renunciation of the ego and a renunciation of the selfishness that she has had from before she had the child. So over time, you see, as you get older, and especially as you have a relationship that is long-term and that continues on and surpasses the honeymoon phase, love is effortful. It requires sacrifice, and it requires being able to see things from another person's perspective and having empathy and being unconditionally there for somebody. And it is really a shame that a lot of people are lonely and yet they don't want to be with somebody because they're scared of these things. They're scared of being vulnerable. But through my video today, I wanted to encourage you to not be afraid of making yourself vulnerable to another person, because it's all for the benefit of you and that other person to become more spiritually awakened and to grow on the inside and challenge yourself to be with somebody who's different than you, a different person than you. And ultimately, as I said, neither of the two people are going to come out of it the same as they were before. So that is my simple message on how love is meant for our spiritual growth. And just as an aside, I just came back from my nutrition class. I'm taking a Principles of Human Nutrition class at a local college as a prerequisite for nursing school. And so, yeah, I just wanted to mention that. I know it's not related to the topic of this video, but today we learned about carbohydrates, including monosaccharides, disaccharides, and polysaccharides. And I thought that it was a good review of things that I had learned previously, especially as a pre-med student and as a medical student. But yeah, that's just my life today. Anyway, I hope that you are not afraid to make yourself vulnerable to somebody and to experience love, because that will lead to your spiritual growth. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to my video today, and I want to wish you a wonderful day, afternoon, evening, or whatever it is, wherever you are in the world.